Well, g'day everyone and welcome back to the channel. This week we're in Mary Kathleen. So why don't you go and get yourself a cold drink, get your feet up for the next 20-30 minutes or so, come and join us for the adventure. Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Alison.
We decided a couple of years ago that we'd work hard and save all of our money and start living life on our own terms.
So we bought a caravan and hit the road on a trip for two all around Australia.
So why not come and join us every week for our adventures? So, as we said in the intro, this week we're staying in Mary Kathleen. We've come into the old township, haven't we?
We have come into the old township, yes.
It's a great place to come and stay. There's nothing left here anymore. They moved all the town away, I think, in the 80s.
Yeah, they auctioned it off and sold it off, and the houses and the buildings either went to Cloncurry, mostly to Cloncurry and or Mount Isa.
Yeah, but what's left behind is a very unique campsite. It's now just a big paddock. Well, it has been for about 40 years. You've got a few cows wandering around, but there's some fantastic concrete pads from the old carport, so you can put your van or your gear on top of. You get a good level sight for the night.
You do.
And you get to do a great little walk around the old town. There's a map supplied here that tells you what used to be here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and put in some of the footage that we see today and try and run some photos in so you can see what sat there before. Alright, so we've come for a walk down into the town centre of Mary Kathleen. It's a very interesting place, isn't it, Al?
It is very interesting.
Even though there's not a great deal here to see, but you can see where the old town used to be. So just give it a quick flick around. We stood here right next to the old bank, so you can see that grey and white tiled area there. I'm not sure if that was the original colours, but they are today. And then next to that was the town hall, and down the end there's one more slab, and that was the old post office. And we work our way across here. You can see the square out here in front of us. This was a wet canteen, and where you see that caravan was the library, and just past the caravan was the old general store. But you can see it's bustling with people and getting to and from work and all the things that they've done every day, just living out their normal lives. I think it existed for about 30 years, the mine, didn't it?
I think so. I have to go back and read the sign again now that I've had a little walk around. yeah,
but it is an interesting place to come around. We just left our van over where we've got it, probably about 300 metres from where we are now. We just walked the entire town almost, and
pretty much.
You can pretty much make out what most things are, like the swimming pool, and of course the tennis courts are pretty easy to spot.
Yes.
And just some other administrative, what we believe were administrative type buildings. Apparently there's an old hospital here, so we'd be pretty keen to have a look at where that was.
Yes.
But other than that, yeah, it's just a great place to come and stay. And as we said before, we're going to use this to base ourselves for the next 3 or 4 days while we're en route up to Darwin. And we'll use this, we'll get out, we'll have a look around, we'll go up to the old mine, we'll shoot into Mount Isa. Hopefully we can get on a mine tour there.
We'll have to have a look into that one.
Yeah, we definitely will. And if we can, you're definitely going to take you along to see that. And yeah, just get ourselves organised to continue to push north. The area where Ali's standing right now, this was the cafeteria, where I assume you could come down and get yourself a feed when you're on the shift or before you took off for your day's shift. And I'd say just based on the colour of the tile there, because they haven't changed that much, this would have been the old kitchen. Alright, so we come and checked out the town map, and Ali and I have worked out exactly whose house we're staying at. So if you lived in this house in Mary Kathleen before, I don't know, was it between 1954 and 1982, we're staying in your front yard right now. I think at Mary Kathleen now there's a little bit of something for everybody. Like if you like to be close by with other campers or you're camping in a large group, there's plenty of room to do that. If you're like us and you want to get out on your own and you know, just be, well, on your own,
yes,
then there's plenty of opportunities to do that. You can bring in your camper trailers, you can have your roof toppers, you can have whatever, can't you?
You can. It's really good. lots of space.
Yeah, yep.
Great place to base yourself to see this part of the world. And I think more and more people are staying here and trekking into the Isa or down to Cloncurry. So
yeah, it's one of those free camps when it just feels right when you get here. It feels secure, and there's plenty of space, and yeah, it's just nice, isn't it?
it is wonderful, and it's a beautiful sunny day, so you can only imagine the sunset and the sunrises.
Oh yeah, and we heard the other day at Porcupine Gorge, a couple of people give us a tip down there, the stars out here are absolutely amazing at night, so if I can work out how to take a bloody photo of the sky with this camera, you'll see it. Well, good morning. It's obviously a little bit early, the birds are just starting to make their ways off for the day. Ali's still in bed. I'm going to let her lay in a little bit longer. I've got the sun's just about to pop above the horizon here. We just had our first night in the old township of Mary Kathleen. It's a great little place to come and stay. I think we've said that a couple of times before, so I won't bore you with that any longer. Today's plan, we're going to have a little bit of breakfast. I'll cook some of that soon, and then we're going to head out to the old mine, which is about 5 or 6 k's away from here, so we'll shoot out there and check it out. Of course, we'll take you along and show you what's still out there, and we'll have a look at the old pit and hopefully get the drone up and have a look around out there. And then when we come back, spend a little bit of the afternoon just in some maintenance around the van, because Ali's got a little bit of work to do. So just here you can see we're on an old carport slab here, so I'm going to take advantage of that, because there's another one over the other side over there, and I'll put the car on that one over there, get a little bit of routine maintenance done in underneath both the vehicles, simply because I don't have to lay in the thorns of the cow poop, so I thought I'd take advantage of it while we're here. A little hard to imagine that about 40, 50 years ago this was a bustling little town, people getting ready to go to work. We're in someone's suburban street right now. There've been a house right here, houses and neighbours across the road. Straight through over there, a couple of 100 metres, was the town centre, so people would have been going in to get onto transport, to head out to the mine for the day, and yeah, it would have been a real little hub. Well, we've had our breakfast for the day, we're fueled up, we're ready to go. We're heading out to the old mine here at Mary Kathleen. Should be a good day. They reckon the road gets a little bit bumpy in some places, don't they, Al?
That's what we've read, yes.
Yeah, that'll be all right. So we'll get out there and have a look around. It should be a pretty interesting day. We'll have a look, or we'll stop and have a look on the way out. We did see on the map yesterday that the old petrol station was out here, so there might be some remains of that out there. That'd be interesting to see.
Yes, it will be.
Particularly if it's got the old houses up there. Anyway, we'll get up and have a look. We've come about halfway down the mining road, and just off onto the right hand side we can see, I can only imagine that's overburden from the mine when it was here, but when you look at it from a distance, it was very reminiscent of when we saw Black Mountain, or like a mini Black Mountain, when we're up in Cooktown. So yeah, from a distance, but once you get up close, all you see is just a pile of rocks. But it looks like it's been quite well regenerated out here. I know the mines have a responsibility to do these things, and I'm not plugging what they do, but yeah, it doesn't look too bad, except obviously it's not going to grow anything into that. So we're just heading out towards the pit, aren't we?
We are.
The road has gone from a sealed potholed road to a bit of a rocky bumpy road, but it's nothing too hard. We've probably been on it for maybe a kilometre now, and I just stopped as we come across these rocks and pop her into 4-wheel drive, but it probably wasn't necessary, but it works all right. So let's get ourselves to the other side of this, and hopefully we just keep following this up and we'll hit the pit. So it looks like we're just coming to the end of the road now to where the pit is, and you can see it just starting to appear there in the front of the car. This should be pretty cool. Well, once again, the GoPro is not going to show you the enormity of this, but this pit here at the mine is huge, absolutely huge. So all of those layers, I think it's called benching, they're all roads. So they would have been roads, I suppose, haul trucks and stuff run around. And have a look down in there, you can see the bottom of the pit. Just, the water's crystal clear, although I think you'd light up like a Christmas tree if you started swimming in it, but yeah, it's beautiful. What do you think, Alicat? It is.
In person.
It is. Just the enormity of it, the colour of it. It's well worth the trip out here. One thing I thought I'd mention, if you come up to the pit, make sure you come up a little bit after sun up. You really want the sun on the water inside, just to get that real turquoise blue colour. It really brings it out. When we first come up here, the shadow from the rock wall over here was almost all the way across, but as the sun's got a little bit higher over the last half an hour or so, you can really see the colours of the pit start to come alive. It's really, really nice to have a look at, isn't it, Al?
It is. It's quite interesting to watch the change.
It is.
Yeah.
And the water is crystal clear, and I don't know if you can see it in the GoPro, but on the bottom there, that's all plant life growing in the bottom there. Now, obviously, because it was a uranium mine, there's an opportunity for a three-eyed fish, a la the Simpsons, but, you know, and there's a lot of warning signs up to say don't go in there because the water's contaminated, but it's such a beautiful place just to come and stand and look at, and it wasn't too hard to drive to come up here, was it?
No, it wasn't hard. I think the notification was at times it's a bit four-wheel drive, and that's true, but it's not a very far part of the track.
No. It was a little bit rocky maybe the last kilometre. That's because you're on the actual mine site, but the road coming in was okay. Yeah, pretty good at all. So if you decide that you want to come up to Mary Kathleen and spend a night, or you just want to come and day trip for the day, then this is a place that you definitely got to come out and see. Yeah. I don't know how you'd go in a two-wheel drive getting yourself all the way out here to the pit where we are now, but you'd certainly get most of the way down here. Just take your time as you come through. The road is very potholed in some places, but yeah, it's not too bad at all. And if you can't get all the way up here, it's probably only about a kilometre walk to come down from where the road's quite good, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't too far at all.
So if you're staying in Cloncurry or the Mount Isa, it's basically halfway between the two towns, so it's not a big drive from either of those towns. I actually think they might do some organised tours out of Mount Isa when I was having a look last night, but I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure they'll be doing something in the high season. Exactly,
and that reminds me, we're going back to the van in a minute. We're going to book a mine tour for tomorrow, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm looking forward. It's been highly recommended.
It has. We're just on our way out from the pit at the moment. I just thought I'd quickly stop and show you. It's a really big hole up in the ground there. They've got to put the overburden somewhere. Look at the pile that's there. That must be 50, 60 metres high. It's almost like it's another feature here. It's unbelievable, the height of it, and it goes for a long, long way. So we're going to continue our drive down here through the old mine site. There's not too much to see anymore. We've seen the odd concrete pad and stuff, but nothing really interesting. I'm sure that the mining company made sure that everything was removed before they left here, like they've done in the town. So if we do see anything interesting, we'll stop, but if not, let's throw in a little bit of footage as we drive through. Any idea what this is, Al? No, and there's no signs here to tell you what it was, but it is worth stopping and having a bit of a look. It's interesting, and I can't believe the amount of Steves that have been here before me. I'll drop in a picture of the intersection that takes you out to the pit. When you get there, obviously you just turn to the right and just follow it out, probably about a kilometre or so. But take the opportunity on your way back to go past the intersection and continue on the left-hand track and follow it up. You'll come to the top of a pile of overburden, and you can just look right out across all of the mountains and the terrain that's here, and it's beautiful, isn't it, Al?
It's quite spectacular, actually.
It is, yeah. And I'll just turn around here. Look at that, a classic Aussie Holden in front of a classic Aussie bush scene. That's spectacular. Well, good morning everyone, and just before I hand it over to Alison to give you the rundown on today's activities, she's just told me that I look like an idiot in my beanie, but I'm saying it's always a good day to wear a beanie. Anyway, that being said, what are we up to today, Al?
We're going into Mount Isa today to do the mine tour.
Yeah, it's the Hard Times. I've nearly said that wrong about 6 times so far. It's the Hard Times mine tour. We'll film as much as we can, or what we're allowed to film. We get down to give you a bit of an idea, but it's going to be a pretty good day. And then from there, we're going to go for a bit of a walk around town. Yes. Go and check out the famous Mount Isa lookout. Yes. And then top up with groceries, because tomorrow we're packing everything up. We're moving out of Mount Catherine, out of out of Mary Kathleen, and we're heading up towards Camberwell, so it should make for a pretty good day. Anyway, we'll take you along and we'll see what happens. So this morning we're doing the hardcore mine tour, and you can take your camera down there. So we're just going to take the phone down, film it all on here. But you just come to the outback of Isa, which is information centre. Go inside and see the lady at the desk, and or the guy at the desk, and they will get you to sign a waiver to say that you don't care if you hurt yourself when you go into the mine, and then you go and get changed into a set of overalls and a hard hat, and away you go. The tour goes for 3 hours, and it costs us $85 for Alison, and because I get a concession these days because I'm over 60, it only cost me $72. So when you come into the centre, Ali's just walking over to the desk now, and that's where you go and sign your waiver. But there's some other things to do while you sit and wait. There's the fossil tour or discovery centre. You can go and have a look at that for free. And there's also a cafe here if you want to grab yourself a cup of coffee while you wait. So the tour begins in the museum to catch you up on the history of mining in Mount Isa before donning a set of white overalls, your hard hat and gumboots, and getting ready to head underground. When you arrive underground, you jump onto this small railway car and it takes you down to the crib room where your tour begins. Our tour guide for the day was Frank. He was absolutely fantastic. He'd been mining in Mount Isa for well over 20 years, and his knowledge about this type of mining was absolutely fantastic. What I really enjoyed about the tour is we're extremely hands-on. There was plenty of opportunity for you to get your hands on some equipment and feel like a miner for 2 or 3 minutes or so. Frank also demonstrates how some of the equipment is used in underground mining, and he provides a wonderful insight into what life is like underground. We both found this very fascinating. This is, I'm going to call it a life pod, but it's somewhere that you go in the event of a cave-in. I think it held up to 12 personnel. Has toilets, food, water, all the things that are essential to life. I think it lasts about 28 days in here. The tour all finishes in the crib room over a Cornish pasty, a cup of coffee and a couple of chockies, but it's a great day out and well worth the money. So we just pulled up at the lookout here in Mount Isa. We'll take you up and give you a bit of a look around town. I'm sorry, I'll have to narrate this part. The wind was absolutely atrocious when we were up on the lookout, and there was nothing I could do to improve the sound quality. But from the lookout, you look out over the mine. The mine's been in existence for over 100 years here in Mount Isa, and to think it was all discovered by one bloke picking up one rock. Absolutely unbelievable. You get a great view over the town and the surrounding area. Dear, I'm very, very disappointed after winning 3 grand finals in a row. You'd think there'd be a sign pointing towards Penrith. Well, Al, we've had a big couple of days here in Mary Kathleen. We're sitting out here, we've got a little bit of a fire going this evening. We're looking out, the sun's just set over there behind the mountains. It's been a beautiful afternoon, hasn't it? It has been wonderful. It has. And that pretty much brings us to the end of our time at Mary Kathleen and Mount Isa. What did you enjoy the most about it, Al?
For me, I really enjoyed actually just camping here at Mary Kathleen. It's been nice and relaxing. It's quite amazing what space there is, and it's wonderful that the owner shares this property with the general public. I also really enjoyed going out to the old mine out at Mary Kathleen. That was something to be seen, and I did enjoy our tour down in the in Mount Isa in the underground mines. Yeah, that was fantastic. Something you certainly need to do when you come out here. I think it was called Hard Times Mine, and the tour was great. But just to let you know, it's $85 for an adult, $72 for me, because when I turned 60 I got a seniors card, so that made it a little bit cheaper. Concessions, yeah. Why not save a few bucks here and there? You get that opportunity. Exactly. And the pro tip is, if you come out to Mary Kathleen and you go out to the old mine and you want to see the pit, wait for a bright blue sunny day, because the water that's in the bottom of that mine will absolutely blow your mind. It is just an absolute pure turquoise blue. It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's quite spectacular. It is, it is. All right, well, on that note, we think that's a great way to end today's episode. We really hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, please hit the like button before you leave. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please consider doing so, because it allows our channel to grow. And as usual, if you've got any comments, hit us up in the comments section. We love to read your questions and hear your feedback.
It's really inspiring for Ali and I, and it really motivates us to keep going. So thank you so much for all of that. Oh, and can I also mention, Al?
Yes.
This is quite a special episode because we've clocked up 250,000 views on our channel.
That kind of blows me away, to be honest, to hear that.
250,000 people have looked at our channel. That's unbelievable. We can't believe that.
Well, 250,000 views.
Yes, exactly. All right. So, as we said, we really hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next Saturday at 9 o'clock. Enjoy your week. We'll see you then.
See you later.
Bye-bye. So we've come for a walk down to... Let me do this again. Sorry, cow poo.